beautiful people, so this is another video on sustainable fashion. So if you didn't know, one of my resolutions for 2020 was to be more sustainable and ethical, and an area of my life that I've chosen to sort of start focusing on in order to become more sustainable is fashion. Another rule that I set for myself was that if I was shopping anything new, the best I could do was to shop from local entrepreneurs or local brands. And so today I wanted to share with you guys some of the local brands that I have purchased from and that I think I like. There's a lot of benefits to shopping locally. So the first obvious one is you're supporting your local community. It's a lot of the brands that I've been shopping from are women entrepreneurs. So the second sort of benefit is that one of the things that you want to look for in shopping sustainable is to ensure that whoever you're purchasing from doesn't produce in a fast fashion like cycle, which means they're constantly pumping out new products for you to buy, hence increasing sort of unnecessary consumptions. When it comes to local brands, because they're sort of small companies, they tend to start with smaller collections and definitely slower cycles of production. And most of the brands I'm talking about that sort of do that consciously as well, other than sort of doing it because of these constraints. So another benefit I think about shopping local is that a lot of times these local brands tend to have a very strong sort of image identity, or they kind of like take influences of culture and heritage into their brand, making it something unique. So in terms of like being fashionable, finding unique items is definitely easier when you're shopping with or from local brands. So the next advantage I think is a hit and miss when it comes to local brands is when it comes to supply chains and accountability. But the brands that I want to talk about today are some of the brands that I kind of feel I know that they're sourcing from or their supply chain is a supply chain that doesn't have too much sus activities when it comes to their supply chains. So the first brand I want to talk about is Askme. Askme is a sort of street fashion brand that was launched by a local host and fashion influencer, Yaya Zahid. The main kind of products that they started with and they're still producing now is t-shirts. So they produce sort of a lot of like oversized and big t-shirts that have very simple and straightforward designs, which I think is pretty much reflective of Yaya's own style that she wears from day to day. How I came across this brand is I've actually been following Yaya for a while. I also had a chance to meet Yaya through a program hosted by Etude when I was under Sweet Generation. She's quite nice. I really like her style, and some of the things that she sort of shared with us or imparted to us during the workshop really stayed with me. So when she launched Askme, I was curious, and I was also on the hunt for a good t-shirt, a good long sleeve t-shirt. So I tried Askme out. I didn't get her first collection because I thought it was way too simple. There was only like kind of like one Askme written here, and I really wanted something to have a bit more character to it than just something super simple. The top I'm wearing right now is actually from Askme, and yeah, so it has the Askme here, and it's super simple. This is the only sort of point to the design, but it's something that I personally really like and I think is cool. I've never seen that before. Yeah. So the thing is, why I love Askme is because number one, it's so hard for a hijabi to make t-shirts look good, because a lot of t-shirts are short sleeve t-shirts and you have to lay it underneath, and I feel like that beats the purpose of wearing a t-shirt. Because if I want to wear a t-shirt, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to sweat in it too much. Whenever I buy normal t-shirts, I end up to wear like layers underneath, and I just hate that because it gets way too hot. But if it's a long sleeve t-shirt, then I can just wear it on its own. And I think what else I love about Askme is that the fit that they have. So I kind of am into the oversized fit, and I think I'll be into it for a long time. Yet their size of clothing tends to be free size. The top I'm wearing now is free size, and I think the top that I have in pink is also free size, and it's very big, so it'll fit a range of people. The fit will be different. So you're slim and small and you don't like very baggy fit, then it's probably not the brand for you. But if you do, then it is. And if you're of a bigger size, you can still fit into these t-shirts. All the fit obviously will vary. Askme is reflective of the sort of slow production cycles. I think they've only launched sort of, I think, 4 or 5 since launching last year, and the amount of clothes that is being produce, I think, is in sort of batches. So she only sort of restocks whenever there's further demands on a certain design that they've released. And I think that's really good. In terms of pricing, personally, because I don't buy t-shirts, I don't spend a lot of money on them ever. So the t-shirts I have from Askme are probably the most expensive t-shirts I own. So they range about 89 for short sleeve, I think, or 79, all the way up to I think 120 maybe, or 109. But if you add like shipping and everything, it'll cost you about 120. But I think in terms of the quality, it's reflective. It's like all right for that price point. And sometimes your t-shirts, especially when you get like cheap t-shirts and you wash them and you dry them, they kind of like shrink, or they have like this weird texture that happens to them. None of that has happened to my Askme t-shirts, and I've been washing them along with my other clothes, and I haven't like sort of separated them from when I do my laundry or anything. So I think it's great. And I will definitely be purchasing more t-shirts from Askme if if they continue to release stuff that I like and I think they like for a long time. So the second brand I wanted to talk about is a brand called Inca Clothing. They are a brand that is amazing on 100 different levels. The main thing that they have, or they started with, were t-shirts, simple plain t-shirts in like a few different colors, like white, black, maroon, blue, like navy blue, with very unique batik pockets. And these t-shirts are special because the people who are sewing on your batik pockets and really putting this together are actually refugees or refugee groups. You can head on to their website to read more about these initiatives, but I think it's a super great brand for you to purchase from if you're really big into helping out underprivileged communities, because this brand essentially provides unemployment to a group of people who otherwise would find it difficult to find jobs. Not only that, but they have a big focus on batik, so that identity of like Malaysia and the uniqueness of like having a t-shirt with batik on it, I super love. And they source their batik from a local studio that does batik stamping, which I also love. But like I said, you can read more about how they source their materials, who they source it from, on their website. And now actually Askme has a few more things on their website other than just t-shirts. They have reusable masks. I think they have like handbags now. Because of what they stand for, I think they're definitely a great brand for me or anyone really to continue purchasing from. So the third brand or company I want to talk about is WNS Studio, or One Nur Shaira Studio. This is a brand that I've only discovered recently. I would definitely divide their products or describe their products into two different things. They have a lot of like satin or silk kind of dresses, skirts and blouses, and they also have like linen pieces that they sell. If I were to ever sort of describe what I think about WNS Studio, is essentially these are kind of like key classic pieces that you'll never sort of put away, or you'll always have a constant use to, because a lot of the silhouettes and the cuts and the kind of quotes that they're selling are definitely sort of timeless pieces, or will transcend trends essentially. So if you're looking to get key pieces, you can definitely get them from WNS Studio. They are, however, very pricey. Their dresses start at 180, and I think their tops start at 120 or 150, and their trousers start like over 200 ringgit, their linen trousers. So they are very expensive. But what I absolutely love about this brand is that they are definitely for local tailoring, quality, as well as very slow cycles of production. How you order, how things get sold in WNS Studios essentially. So they have a catalog of stuff that's kind of like cuts or the pieces that they sell. You can DM them to order that piece, and then they would put those orders through to the local tailor that they work with, and then they'll start sewing those pieces together. So once you get orders, then you produce kind of things. And obviously when you do that, you get kind of like excess fabric or materials from producing pieces of clothing. But what they then do with those excess is the small pieces I think get turned into scrunchies, and the excess fabric from whatever orders that they've had so far, they'll turn into those pieces as ready stock pieces, and they'll sell them as like clearance, ready stock clearance for people, and it's usually at a lower price. So what you can do if you don't want to pay for the full price price point, what you can do is you can wait for them to have these ready stock items, because they are clearance items and they tend to be sold at a like kind of 40 ringgit, 50 ringgit cheaper than sort of the normal price point that they sell it. But what I do notice about that though is that they have it's usually in very small sizes, and the brand does run like, I think, on a smaller size, because I usually wear an S. I don't consider myself sort of a big girl or whatever, it's like S and M. So I wear an M because I noticed that the measurements were a bit off, were a bit smaller. But then when the dress arrived, I actually ordered an L. So yeah, so just be careful of the sizing and you're good. I bought actually the satin dress and blouse, and I bought it because it had an offer where 20% of whatever you bought would be donated to breast cancer if you bought some of their pink items, and I bought the satin dress in dusty rose. Anyways, I like the material, like the silhouette. I do think it's a bit expensive, but if you're investing in key pieces that is going to last forever, like there are linen tops and the linen trousers, I think it's worth the money. And the fact that their production style or cycle is the way it is, I really like it and I would really love to support it. I'm losing sunlight. The final brand that I want to talk about is actually an accessories brand, and it's called Poppy Lab. Poppy Lab is a handmade accessory brand, so all of the accessories that they sell are handmade, and there's like a few different things. I think they have like some pearl pieces, they have some metal pieces. But what I personally love from Poppy Lab is their clay earrings specifically. And the reason why I love it and I support this brand is because one, so the artist that makes these earrings is super talented. It is super well made. It's handmade, and she loves to incorporate sort of culture and meaning into the pieces that she makes. So the first piece I bought from her was really simple, but like colorful. But then I also bought from her the batik piece that she did. I actually regretted not getting her like what's it called? Like pastel batik. It was so beautiful. I'm gonna show you a picture of it here. Most recently, she did like a mooncake earrings for the Luna Mid-Autumn Festival. I didn't get my hands on them then, and she also did these pieces for some breast cancer awareness month, which I think is beautiful because it's like you kind of can't see what it is, but you also like not really understand what it is, but you're also supporting sort of a good cause. Her pieces tend to run, I think, between 70 ringgit to sometimes over 100 ringgit, so they are expensive. They're not like priced at your low visa price points, I guess you could say, but they are handmade and by a local talent artist, so I think it's worth the price point that it costs. So yeah, so I'm always sort of on the lookout for any new batch of earrings that she has, and again, because it's her sort of making these earrings, it's not sort of a constant kind of like new collection every week or every day. It's not fast fashion. So those are the local brands that I've been shopping from and that I want to share about in 2020. Also, please share the kind of brands that you guys shop from that are great in terms of being ethical and also sustainable, because I would love to check them out. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!